Hello everyone, welcome to Magical Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and I'm here with my weekly Moon Day oracle message. Now this is going to be a reading for the collective for the week of, I had to stop and think for a second, what even week are we in? September 21st, 2020. Now, this is a message of higher guidance for all of us as one, and for those who find themselves guided here. It does not matter if you're finding this message on live or whether or not you're watching this on replay months from now. You are here exactly in divine timing. So the way that this reading works is I use my natural intuitive abilities as well as oracle cards to call forward a message of higher guidance and wisdom for all of us for the energy of the week and really what we need to know about that. And that gives us a bit of insight and power, if you will, because really having awareness is power. It does allow you to flow in sync and in alignment with the divine energy coming in versus blindly swimming against the current. So having that awareness really does give us that power and that heads up to flow harmoniously with the energy. So before I really go into anything further, I'm just going to say welcome to those of you that are just now popping in. Hello, Michelle, Karen, and Lindsay. Did I miss anybody? Welcome, lovely ladies. Thank you so much for being here. I'm just going to take a moment and share this and just let everyone know that I am live, since I tend to bounce back and forth between 7 p.m. and 6:30. So just bear with me one moment. And how are you, lovely ladies, doing today? Good evening. Okay. If only my fingers hit the right keys. Tired. Yeah, I had to really ensure that I was going to make it here this evening because it does feel like it has been like the longest day ever, doesn't it? Okay, I think that's it. Hi, Flo. Hey, Bree. I'm thrilled autumn has finally arrived. Yes, me too. This is my time. This is my season. Yes, Mab, and blessings to you as well. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that today. So, how this works for anyone who is new to my page, welcome. I do hope that you enjoy yourself here. So how this works is, first I usually talk a little bit about news and announcements and anything that I have going on here at Magical Me, whether it be my online classes or events, or also over at my sister business with my two partners, Karen and Lindsay, at Oracles of the Light. So I talk a little bit about that, but we actually don't have a whole lot to announce. So I really will kind of just be glazing over that. Then I go into what's called my empathy forecast or energy forecast. And what that is really me just discussing what I've energetically been feeling the last few days, and just kind of sharing or talking about anything planetary, astrologically, that might be coming up that we need to know about. For example, the autumn equinox and Mabon, so I'll talk a little bit about that as well. Then I actually pull the Moon Day message from an oracle card deck that chooses to work with us this week, and then I interpret the guidance that comes through for all of us. After that, we usually pull a mudra card, but today I have something a little different that I want to do. So usually when I pull the mudra cards, it is for us to have another added bonus of working with our own power and energy throughout the week in conjunction with the oracle message that came through. But today I was actually guided to bring forward a light language transmission combined with a third eye chakra activation. So I will be doing that instead of the mudra today. This way we don't run too far on time. Hello, Jeanette or Janet. I know I always do that. You're probably so annoyed with me. It's Janet, and I know it is, but I'm so used to saying Jeanette because I do have a friend named Jeanette. So I apologize. Hi, Antonio. Maria, welcome. So good to see you here. Hi, Jill. Hey, Karen. Welcome. Thank you all for making it this evening. All right, so news and announcements. As I said, I don't really have a lot this week. However, next Moon Day, there's going to probably be a buttload of them because the oracles and I have had quite a bit brewing. So I will be announcing that next Monday. What I do want to announce, though, is that I have to just say, and you're going to understand why I'm doing this because it also goes along with the theme of the equinox right now. Hi, Melinda. Welcome. Thank you for being here. So I do have to say that I just wrapped up as of today the registration for my level 1 of my online Spiral Temple Sacred Feminine School, and as well as level 2 as well, just closed. So I have to say thank you so much to everyone who has supported me, my past students who have talked about it, shared testimonials. Thank you so much, because I had a whopping 17 women sign up for it, and there's 17 viewers. 17 women sign up for level 1, and I just could not be more appreciative and grateful that I get to share this work with so many more souls. And just the sisterhood that's already coming together with that just really blows my mind. So I'm incredibly grateful and blessed. But not only that, with those 17 women who signed up, there also were some really wonderful, selfless women who stepped forward as sponsors to sponsor some of those women on this journey as well, to ensure that they were able to receive, this powerful opportunity. Hey, Karen. Welcome, love. Thanks for being here. Happy Moon Day. So I have to give credit where credit is due. So I'm going to just name those ladies that stepped forward to assist me in sponsoring. And I have to say thank you so much to my lovely business partners, Karen as well as Lindsay Leanne. I also have to give thanks to Amy Elizabeth Myers, and I have to also give thanks to the lovely Bridget Martell. Thank you all so very much. You are superstar goddess rock stars. I really do. I cannot say thank you enough for your selfless acts of kindness. So much love to you all for doing that. So with that said, goddess registration for the Spiral Temple has closed. However, if there is someone that wants to get in at the last possible minute, I do always say that I'm willing to work with you and extend the registration to the end of September if you are able to make it, and if you are able to do that, just because it won't put you too far behind on the journey, as we only release new workshops every month for the next 10 months. So the registration does close after this for the remainder of the year. It will not open again to new students until next July or August. So, and that does not open again until the following September, but I do open registration about July or August. So if there is someone out there that's, I missed the registration, I really want to do this, or I just suddenly came into the opportunity where I can sign up, just reach out to me. I do always make exceptions because that's what I'm here for. Okay. All right. With that said, that's going to be it for the announcements right now. Next week, I'll be announcing more of what the oracles has been brewing in our magical cauldron of goodies. So, yeah, hang tight for that one. So next, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I call my energy forecast or empathy forecast. So, one moment. Hey, Fred. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Okay, so I'm just going to get right into the equinox because it is tomorrow, technically. Usually we celebrate the first day of fall, or in the southern hemisphere, it is actually the first day of spring, depending upon when the actual light goes by the actual, like, legitimate light. So I believe that usually we're used to, celebrating it on the 21st, and it's always kind of like repetitious. That's the 21st of March is spring, 21st of September is fall, and so on and so forth for summer and winter, but that's technically not the case. But the window is really open from the 21st to the 23rd, so it doesn't matter. You can start your celebrations early. Mabon blessings to everyone, and equinox blessings, and star blessings to all of you in the southern hemisphere. That would be the spring equinox. Okay, so hey Courtney, hey Meredith, hey Trinice, welcome. Thanks, Courtney. I had to get one, me and my mug fetish. So you can start celebrating now, obviously, but it is in the Eastern time zone because that's where I am. It's, I believe, 9:31 a.m. tomorrow morning, the 22nd of September. So, which I find fascinating because first of all, Meredith, I want to ask your opinion on this, lovely, because I found some contradicting information out there. There's information that says that Libra season actually begins on September 23rd, but there's a lot of information out there saying that today's the last day of Virgo season and Libra season actually is starting tomorrow. Is that accurate? Did something shift? So let me know, because Meredith Morris is a lovely, beautiful owner of Mermaid Trove, and she is an astrologer and my go-to for a lot of information that I just don't understand. So let me know, lovely. But I find it fascinating because, first of all, you know how I am about numbers with numerology and energy gateways. And tomorrow's numerology would be 9/22/22. So for those of you who are saying, no, 2020, it's not a 22, what are you talking about? It is if you add up the two numbers. If you add the two, the 2 plus 0, 2 plus 0, it's a 22, which is a master builder number. You do not break that down to a 4. So 2020 is the year. You've heard me talk about this. For those of you who follow me, you know that 2020 is the year of the master builder, which is all about building the foundation for the new way, whether that's individually within your own lives, creating new, tearing down the old structures to rebuild and create something completely new. You are the architect of your own life, as well as in the collective and in the world. We are shifting from leaving behind the old programs and the old paradigm and shifting into what is called New Earth. So it's interesting that tomorrow is a 9. September the 9 is all about completions of cycles. It's also the number of divine completion. So it's really like leveling up. It's a very powerful number of achievement in successfully completing goals. Then you've got the 22 of the day, which is that master builder, and then followed by the year, the 22 again, which is again master builder. So we've got 9/22/22 tomorrow. So I know there are other people that will break that down and do other things with it, but I only speak about what energetically resonates with me and what I'm called to talk about. So the 22/22 there with that 9 is huge for us, really being on that. We're really completing the old cycle. We are now ready to start a new cycle now. And if you understand the equinox within itself, both equinoxes, whether it be the spring or the fall, the word equinox translates to equal night. So it really is the time where there is equal amount of daylight and equal amount of darkness. And so it's literally like something like 12 hours of light, 12 hours of darkness. So we have that divine balance, the divine union between light and dark, sun and moon. This is all about the harmonization of the polarities. So everything coming together in balance. Libra, and Meredith just chimed in, the moon enters Libra at 6:31 a.m., 9:22. Interesting. And that is the exact time of the equinox. Thank you so much. So the sun doesn't actually enter Libra until the 23rd. That what you're saying? It's the moon that enters Libra on the 22nd, which is just also in itself mind-blowing because Libra is represented by the sign of the scales. the Egyptian goddess Mat has been coming to me for quite a few days leading up to the equinox. Thank you, Meredith. So are you saying then that, so my understanding, okay, there you go. So you're saying once again, we have a sign in both the moon and the sun at the same exact time. Okay. Right. I was about to say, that's also just another, my head's about to spin. Either way, the sun being in the sign of Libra on the 22nd, on the equinox, is incredibly powerful. And again, it's the balancing of the scales. The goddess Mat is, she's an Egyptian goddess, and I might be saying her name wrong. It's how I always pronounce it. She really does hold the scales of balance and justice and karma rebalancing themselves. So in Egyptian times, people would actually refer to the word balance as Mat. And so they would tell you to, may you have the blessings of Mat within your life. So that was the blessings of balance within your life. So why I'm telling you all of this is because tomorrow is a very powerful energy day. And at the same time, this equinox is bringing about a very powerful shift in our consciousness, specifically pertaining to our third eye chakras. And our third eye chakra really does rule over our perception and perspective. So, and I see everyone's comments. I'm not ignoring you. And welcome to those of you just popping in. I'm going to get back to all the comments in a moment. I just know I always lose my train of thought if I don't stay with it. Thank you, Meredith. I appreciate you. So, it's really this time where and this is why I was guided to do this light language transmission today, because it's encouraging the anchoring of higher frequency light coming into fill, or I don't know if I want to say the word fill, but really activate our third eye chakras to assist in us expanding and leveling up to that higher consciousness, that higher awareness. So it's important for us to focus on what we want. Also to take time, and this really is synchronistic with what the equinox symbolically represents at this time in the fall. And it really is about completing the old cycle and really taking stock of, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life, what's going on in the world. It's about taking stock of all the benefits and all of the blessings that you have had. That's why I went into my gratefulness and my gratitude for those that signed up for Temple and that assisted with it. To really give voice and pay homage to how much you have been blessed with, whether it's just family, love, or health. Really acknowledging that, because as you do show that attitude of gratitude and express your gratitude, you really do enable or facilitate the completion of the old cycles. Also acknowledging and giving voice to those things that, those situations in your life that are starting to fall away. Just like the leaves falling from trees, we are beginning to shed outdated patterns, people, situations, jobs, behaviors, beliefs, thought processes. So it's really important for us all to really recognize those things that are moving out of our lives, even if they're moving out in a way that was traumatic or difficult. It's important for us to acknowledge it. And one thing that I actually found myself giving thanks to today was years ago when I first started on my spiritual path. I actually was invited to form and join in a high priestess coven. And I was talking to my Spiral Temple students about it yesterday, and how I spent about a year or so in that coven before I decided to bow out and walk away, because it got very ego. And for a long time, I felt really like, I don't know if I want to use the word disgruntled by, the fact that it just, I didn't leave on bad terms. It was just, I left before it got that way, I guess you could say. And for a long time, I was kind of disgruntled, but it taught me a beautiful lesson about how not to be as a teacher. It taught me the importance of being humble and not going into ego, and really remembering that we are all in this together and that no one is above anyone else. And so I sat there today actually thinking about all of this and thanking my teacher who gave me the opportunity to train as a high priestess and enter into a coven with all of this new information and experiences. And now this was probably my early 20s when this happened. And I don't mind going in to say that I'm now going to be 40 years old next month. So you see how long ago that was. I give thanks to her. And I give thanks to the other women that I was on that journey with, because it really brought me to where I am today, and I don't regret it. And it was a beautiful opportunity, and I am able to teach and work the magic that I do today because of that opening and that door opener. So it's a really great time, everyone, to sit back and reflect on those experiences that you've had, really wrapping up those old cycles. And then as we have this whole third eye activation, expansion, and alignment, now is time for you to really begin to focus and on what you are creating, that new motivation that's about to come forward for you, to really begin to put energy into and focus your time and energy into how you can move forward, how you can actually create or start something new, even if it's just a new routine for yourself, a new way of living, a new attitude, whatever it might be. It's time to move away from the focus on the attitude of lack. Okay, so I really hope that sits with you. I really hope that you can embrace that as tomorrow's energy comes flying in, because it's a powerful portal day, and you can expect to be receiving some serious energy upgrades in your sleep. Obviously, with what I'm guided to do here today with the third eye light language transmission, and have some fun. Just rest and play if you can, and really get out in nature and connect with the energy of the season, the magic of it. I myself, like I said, I'm gonna have a fire tomorrow night. I'm gonna go out and get some apples, get some apple cider, because apples are very symbolic of what we call Mabon, also the equinox, or the autumn equinox, and make some magic. You could do a quick Google search and find anything. But those of you who have subscribed to the Oracles of the Light newsletter last month, so if you check your spam, if you missed it, for those of you who have subscribed, last month's newsletter talked a whole lot about activities for this time right now for Mabon and the equinox. So yeah, good stuff. And I will be sharing some more activities tomorrow too on Oracles and Magical Me. All right. So that is really, I feel like, what's going on right now. I've just got this whole, I feel like there's been a fire activated within my sacral chakra, because even today, why I was a little late was because I was at the last minute creating something. Now, let me just tell you that it's a craft project, but the craft project is been sitting, hanging up on my door, not started, for probably close to a month now. All of a sudden, at the last possible minute, I just had this fire ignite within me about an hour before Moon Day, and I started it, and it's almost done. So I really was moving on it. But when the goddess says create, you create. When you feel that energy within you, you just do it. And I'm going to tell you, honor that. Embrace that fire magic, because in that sacred feminine creatrix energy, because that is how you birth new beginnings, new opportunities, new ideas, new sparks of life. Things that you didn't even realize you could do start happening. So really embrace that energy as you move forward. Okay. Hi Marie, hi Liz and Keisha. Welcome, ladies. Roxana, Heather, blessings. So happy you could all make it. All right, so I'm going to go back and catch up on the comments really quickly, and then we're going to pull the Moon Day card for the week, okay? Ooh, I missed quite a bit, didn't I? Ooh. And those of you I missed that popped in, welcome. I see Kim, Gigi, welcome. Samara says it starts based on when the sun moves into 0 degrees of Libra, and that day can change based on the year. Oh, I did not know that. Thank you for that. 0 degrees, which is interesting. Oh, what did I just do? I'm scrolling and I'm showing you all the rest of my room. Sorry about that. Sorry, it's so hard to see the comments. They give me like 2 at a time here. The 0 too, you know, one thing that I was talking about today that I felt with the equinox and the sun and the moon coming into that, you know, equal balance there was the reset, 0 point. It really made me feel like it was about 0 point, that point of when we are ready to cross the threshold into something new. So again, the ending of that old chapter and cycle, preparing to start the new. But I do want to let everybody know that it's not something that we just jump into. We're not just thrown into the new cycle. There is a transitionary period. So what's happening is that with the equinox, now that we are equal light and equal dark, after this point in time, so moving towards Samhain, we are actually, and moving all the way up to the solstice at the winter solstice in December, we are decreasing more and more and more in light. So it's going to get more dark, 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 dark. So after this point, it's really more so the transition, if you will. So it's not, we are not actually beginning again until after the solstice in December, and then moving to, and we're still really not fully ready to jump forward until spring. So that's in March. So I just want everybody to know that, if you know, because sometimes it can be like, oh, all of a sudden it's boom, and we're expecting things to be like, you know, hit the ground full speed ahead. But really what it is that all of this new information, the inspiration, those sparks that start to come up, that creative energy, we're actually supposed to start harnessing that as we go back within ourselves, because now that we move into the shadow part of the year, into basically what we refer into that, moving into our metaphoric endings here, we begin to go into dig really down deep into ourselves, into the shadows, which is where that creative energy is at. So it's really all of the discovery right now, the harnessing of the energy, the preparatory work. So I just want to put that out there so I don't, you know, mislead and think that all of a sudden, boom, the new cycle is as of the 23rd of the month, you know. All right. Hey, Carmela, love. Let's see. I never knew you could do that either, so now I have to be careful, because I'm going to be like, good thing my room was clean. And you guys didn't see my hot mess that's in here sometimes. Okay. Meredith says, Matt came to my awareness this morning for some reason. Interesting. Well, now you know why that reason is, because she represents the balancing of the scales, and she's represented by the energy of the symbolism of the feather as well as the scales. It's all about the weighing of the feather. And so when your soul is as light as a feather, well, that's the goal, is to have your soul be light as a feather, to release all of the karmic stuff and to work through that. Oh, good. Nice. The meditation. I'm so interested in that. So thank you. Thank you for offering. Heather says, so many signs I've gotten in the past few days, and today I got another one. Since I said I'm doing temple, the signs have been heavy, strong, and in my face. Oh, good for you. You see what happens? All you have to do is take that step forward, and the universe will meet you the rest of the way. Your 40th too? Yeah, I'm actually excited about it. You know, I know a lot of people are always like, "Oh no, it's my 40th," you know. But I think I'm really happy with the place that I'm at, and I'm really excited for it. So yeah, sister, 40s together. Courtney says, definitely a whole new everything for me right now. I am glad I was able to get this far. Oh, good for you, sweetheart. Congratulations. And yeah, new changes bring new blessings. So hold on to that. All right. So I think that's it for the comments. sometimes Facebook does not allow me to see all of the comments until afterwards. I recognize that, when I'm scrolling through the comments at the end, when I'm done recording, I then see how many were not shown to me live. So just want you to know, I'm not ignoring anybody. All right, so here we go. I was a little torn about the deck that I wanted to work with for the message today, and it ended up being that I'm going back to the Heal Yourself reading cards by Ina Siegel. Because, it's really important to know what it is that's coming up that, is unresolved or unhealed within us, that gives us that extra, because, like I say often, the awareness is half the battle. When you don't know something and you don't have that awareness, which is also part of your perception expansion, when you don't have the awareness, how can you acknowledge it going forward? How can you make changes when the situation comes back around? Having the awareness is sometimes all you need. It's just like that click, and you immediately get to shift out of that loop, shift out of that cycle. And then if the situation comes back to you again, as it often does, you now have the awareness, and you're now wiser, stronger, and you can take a step in a different direction this time. Okay. Heather says she's 42 and it is the best time of her life. It's also a privilege, as we know, denied so many. That is absolutely right. Thank you for saying that. That's a great perspective. There we go with the perspective again. Thank you for that. Yeah, I thought that about my 30s we all do, right? When you're in your 20s, you're like, oh no, I'm about to be 30, My 30s were my best time of my life. And I have to tell you that every year, it just keeps getting better and better. Courtney, Magic 44, congrats, girl. All right, so I'm going to have everybody just close your eyes for a second with me. We're going to bring our energy in, and I'm going to have you take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And release. And just release all that stress, all that tension in your body. All thought other than here and now. Okay. See what guidance comes forward for the collective good for the week of September 21st, 2020. Did we pull this one before from this deck? I feel like we may have. So first and foremost, it is a master number 11. 11 is a master number, as I said, in numerology. It is recognized by itself as it is, well, I should say, because it's amplified by itself. It is recognized as sacred and does not get broken down. So when we refer to it as a master number, it's a master teacher. It gets to teach us something. So the 11, to me, always represents the two pillars of a doorway. Now, if we did break it down to a 2, 2 represents balance and things coming together. So you see those two pillars of a doorway. To me, it does represent balance. It also represents that door that's presenting itself for you to step through, for you to cross the threshold into new experiences, into new opportunities, new life, attracting new situations, people, and patterns to your life, and being able to leave behind an old, outdated way of being, thinking, doing, living. So really a very powerful message of a transitional time right now. 11 is also all about instant manifesting and manifestation and bringing about those positive changes. So be very mindful when 11s come up, because of the fact that it is a reminder to pay attention to what you're thinking or doing at that time, because you are instantly manifesting. All right. 11 to me is also about the expansion of your awareness, or that awakenings, having these revelation epiphany moments and tapping into that higher mind and higher awareness. So very consistent, I should say, with the messages I've already been saying here today, and with the equinox and the gateway energy that's coming through. Okay. The card itself is Take Off Your Masks. Look at that. So revelations, my friends, about who you truly are, about, what you might be here to really accomplish and achieve. it comes about the time where many of us begin to go through our transitions, especially 40 is a big one, 30s are big ones. Um, you know, 17 to 18-year-olds, single to married, uh, you know, having children, crossing over into being a parent. There's all of these transitionary moments in our life. And this is one of them right now as a collective with us transitioning into New Earth. Um, it provides us the opportunity to step into a different version of ourselves, a more authentic, raw, or primal version of ourselves. We begin to, especially with the expansion in perception and consciousness that we're having, it really does allow us to see things so differently. You know, I talk about this all the time, that there was a point in time where, I thought the best thing out there was hanging out with my friends, partying, going dancing and drinking. And then I got to the point where, and I'm not saying that that's wrong, it just became outdated for me. On my path, I began to realize that there was so much more to life than just doing that. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't like to enjoy dancing and going on having, occasional drinks. And no one should be ashamed that does those things, because everyone has their own path and own journey. But for me, on my journey, it was time for me to begin to experience life through new eyes. And those people who only saw me as that version of myself began to fall away, because they no longer resonated with my lifestyle changes and where I was going. And that was okay. I love them the same and they love me the same, and that doesn't change. But just our compatibility, our frequency did. And so it was time for me to take off my mask and start to expose who I really am. And that's how Magical Me came about. I started to speak these new things that were coming to me and have these revelations, and new people began to come into my life because of that. And I really began to honor all that I was feeling and what I wanted to do and what I was called to do. And that's still happening. With every single bit that is revealed, more and more of my soul comes through. And it's a constant process. The only constant is change, and we are constantly growing and evolving and learning, and you should not stop. You should keep going. And there are people that might not understand that you're not the same person anymore. I think I just shared a post, maybe it was on my personal page, that there were people, it said something about people aren't always going to recognize or resonate the old version or the new version of you. They're always going to want to see the old version of you. And, basically, in a nutshell, you shouldn't feel bad about that. You shouldn't have to apologize for that. And you should just be exactly who you're called to be. And so it's okay for those of you who might be struggling with that, taking that mask fully off. It is okay to not be the same person that you once were. It is okay to want to have new experiences. It is okay to want to completely change your life, to completely change the job that you might have gone to college and spent quite a bit of money on an education for. It's okay to change and change your mind. That is the point here, is constant evolution and growth and expansion. And where we are going as a collective is to take off our masks and to demand nothing less from those around us. And of course, we have no control over those around us and what they do and their journey. But it may be time where you only want to align yourself with those who are also being their authentic selves. As a collective, you see more and more we are demanding justice. Speaking of Maat, the goddess of justice in the scales, we are demanding justice. We are demanding now that we, those things that have been hidden and repressed for so long be revealed, and that corruption fall. So it's time. If you want to see change within your life, if you want to see change within the world around you, the only thing that you have control over to make that happen is by changing within yourself and honoring within yourself. taking off your mask and not being afraid to stand tall without it on, and to allow your natural, radiant light to shine through you. Do you know how many times when I started Magical Me and I started going live that I heard whispers from people that were supposed to be closest to me about my ego for doing this, and who did I think I was coming on here talking about things and needing to do videos? And yeah, that hurt my heart. But at the end of the day, I remembered that they weren't meant to go with me on that journey, that they could only see me how they see themselves, from a place that they vibrate at. And that didn't make me any better or any less than them. It just made us different, and that was okay. But if I would have listened to my own doubts and fears about doing lives and coming on, and if I would have allowed what they thought of me to stop me, to make me go into my own sin. Now, they were probably triggers, because at that time I was very scared. You know, I always talk about how I was, public speaking was one of my biggest fears in life. And I was like a deer in headlights when I would get called on in school. I remember when we first formed Oracles, and Karen can laugh about this. We were actually asked to speak at, I think it was a vendor show. And we were asked to speak about, you know, some of the services that we offered in front of a room full of people. And I had been doing Magical Me for years, and I completely shut down. I said, absolutely not. You can do that. Do I still get a little nervous? I do, but I eventually ripped off the Band-Aid, and here I am today. And, you know, I am aware of how much I grow because of this work, because of what I'm able to do here. Every day it teaches me something. You all teach me something. And I'm aware of how many people these readings benefit, and they help and change their lives. So I don't regret taking off my mask. So take off your masks, beautiful ones. We need to see your light. The world needs to see you as you authentically are. Okay? All right. So I hope that it was easily translated and that I made sense to everybody as I put that through. So I do hope that you enjoyed it. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. Hi, Prescott. I love that he watches. It's so adorable. Hey, Sweepy. Oh, hi, Allison. Oh, thank you for that, sweetie. Oh, Keisha, I'm so glad. Hi, Laura. Hi, Izzy. All right. Hey, Deborah. All right, so for those of you just popping in, I did not do news and announcements. I talked a little bit about energy forecast and the equinox and the importance of it. So this will be available on replay, as well as the beginning part of the oracle message if you missed it. Also, you may have missed that I'm doing a very special live light transmission to activate and expand our third eye chakras today. All right, so we will not be doing the mudra. We're going to be doing this instead. Okay. So I'd like everybody to get yourselves nice and comfortable if possible. If you have headphones, I don't know how well sometimes it comes through because this is not the best quality microphone. And vocal toning, and because I will probably go into vocal toning here as well as the light language, it doesn't always translate well. When I hear it back, I'm like, oh dear, that does not sound like how I hear it. So I do have a new microphone, thanks to, Karen and I, we actually got a new microphone, but we still have not wrapped our brain around how to use it. So that's in the works. And hopefully it will be bringing better transmissions through, as well as our sound bath sessions. But I'm going to do my best. But if you have a headset, earbuds, they might actually help to hear. You may hear it better if you plug those in. Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have everybody get nice and relaxed. I've already called upon the beings of the highest and purest light, my divine family of light, asking them to surround me with their divine love, all of us with their divine love, divine protection, as we call in high frequency light and energy to assist and facilitate this third eye expansion. I know, Karen, I know that microphone. It's been sitting in a box for I don't even know how many weeks now. We got to get on that. Okay. So, with that said, I'm just going to have you take a nice deep breath in. Close your eyes. And I should add that if you are not open to receiving this today, you have free will. You do not have to receive this, even if you want to stay tuning in. All you have to say is, I am not open to receiving. If you are open to receiving this expansion and activation today, all you have to do is state that I am open to receiving the divine light transmission that will be coming through Jamie today. Okay? And then just allow yourselves to receive. Okay? Again, take a nice deep breath in. And release. Feel yourself just connecting into your body. Feeling all stress and tension leave your body. Take another deep breath in. And release. Relax your shoulders, your jaw, your spine, feeling yourself come down into your heart space. Just bringing your awareness there, connecting with your truth. Feeling your body melting into the earth beneath you. Going to be bringing in some sounds first with the third eye crystal singing bowl. So give you a little preview of some of our singing bowls here. And just breathe nice and slow. We're going to be anchoring down through the higher layers, these light codes, will be coming into your third eye. Hold as we bring in the vocal toning and light sound. Urat ish emanyat urat in, at it arot ush amak ina irat ir. Vrash amariat nariat or, mahasha ina I, marit ish amat et it ut o nat vahana I inash imaniat ash anyat viratina riat osh in. Irat osh anyat et inat ak inariat o. Anyat et ish ak inayat ot urat imar. Viratishamak ina I inayot osh anyat viarotunariamat et ish myana. Vi ana irot ush ish ira yina irat ish. Mahana I ina irot unat imak ish in. Va ana irot unat imat ish ak ina. Ura it ana in at vash amaniat et. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And allow those light codes to be absorbed into your energy body. Moving down into your chakras. As we begin to harmonize and breathe. As we simultaneously feel this energy begin to be anchored into the collective for the highest and greatest good. Nice deep breaths in. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return to the here and now. We give thanks to the divine beings that have assisted today. We give thanks to all of you for being open to receive in divine love, light, and blessings. And so it is. Okay, everyone. It took me a little bit to come back and to adjust. Definitely felt a little out of my body there for a moment. So, thank you. I do hope that you enjoyed that and that you all received exactly what it is that you were in need of receiving. I know it does not always translate with this microphone. I probably should have held it closer too, because I know it cuts out, and it definitely, I don't know if I can explain it properly, but maybe I think it kind of dulls the sound out sometimes. So I hope that all received exactly what it was that they were meant to receive today. Thank you for allowing me to do that. Okay. Thank you all so much for your love, for your support, and for being here with me this week on Moon Day. I look forward to seeing all of you next week. Blessings, and have a wonderful equinox and Mabon. Bye-bye.